Hello everyone and welcome. It's KeeperMC and we continue our survival on the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, 2b2t.org. And if previously you saw me spending countless hours on mining, then this is the second part of it. Because one of the things I absolutely hate about Minecraft are underground lakes, tunnels filled with the water, etc. And well, some of these bodies of water actually cross the land I'm mining, so of course I have to take action and ensure these are going to be closed. And that's where the deep slate is going. Not only into the caves filled with the water, but currently that's the, let's say, main objective for me, because this underground lake is huge. It's ridiculous. And not only sometimes squids are glitching and appearing through the walls, which honestly scares me every time, but of course also the other monsters, like these dudes, for example. So yeah, after spending several days on mining, I accumulated a lot of deep slate, so I smelted it all, so it's this polished, well, not polished, but regular deep slate instead of the cobbled version of it. And well, now I'm spending countless hours attempting to close this huge body of water. And if you wonder why am I not taking care of my oxygen, so to say, breathing meter or whatever it's called, well, it's just that I am so lazy. Of course, yeah, I can simply dug up and create a pocket of air and breathe in for a second before going back down. Or, for example, I can maybe get this turtle helmet. I think it was also supposed to extend your ability to breathe underwater, or at least hold a breath. Or even maybe go to the nether, get some blaze rods and make some potions. But honestly, not only I'm too lazy for that, but also... Oh god. Really? Where is it? Ooh, we actually got a trident. Which is not only basic, but also broken. Yeah, I missed. Yeah, in any case, speaking about the potions, I don't want to spend any time on it, and even though this suffocating sound is annoying, I prefer to have that instead of extra days spent traveling and doing it otherwise. Another reason for me to keep suffocating is that eventually it starts consuming the saturation and your hunger slowly depletes. And as you know, we are still in the age of spending, which fits quite well because, again, when you are simply mining, you are not using that much of a food. Therefore, this one is kinda speeding up the whole process. So I probably managed to place like 1.5 shulker boxes worth of deep slate underwater, and as you can see, I'm not having a full stack of fish, it's already quarter down of it, which is nice. I mean, not effective, but again, the whole point is to spend not waste and not spend it effectively. Simply spend it. So I guess that's alright. And I mentioned it last time that there will be some shocking news eventually when I will finish the mining. Well, sneak peek, these water caves are not the only ones that I'm trying to close. I'm actually actively trying to eliminate all the caves and tunnels in a render distance when you are inside of Ancient City territory. So no matter near which wall you're gonna stay, there would be no caves rendered whatsoever. I'm not sure why am I doing this. Originally it seemed like a cool idea, but again I haven't calculated how much resources, including time, it would require me to be invested. But well, now I'm in the middle of it, so it's too late to give up. And to be honest, it already does have some interesting results. Not only the mob density started to increase in the dark caves, because obviously mobs simply have less space to spawn, but also, of course, while investigating all the caves in the render distance, I am also picking up lots of those resources I've been mentioning previously. Lots of copper, lots of gold, iron, and of course diamonds, redstone, etc. So it kinda serves a dual purpose here, I would say. But yeah, of course, the downside is the time. And probably if I wouldn't lose my job, I wouldn't be able to spend like, I don't know, 10 hours a day on mining and placing the deep slate, so it would probably stretch up, I don't know, to several more years. But now I clearly see this as an opportunity to boost forward, and as long as I will finally get a job, I do hope that most of it would be already finished up in here, including mining and placing. And if you wonder how am I actually doing this, well, unfortunately I am supposed to slightly move away from the vanilla, because no matter how good of a listener you are, mobs not always spawn in all the caves, so sometimes you actually need to see, let's say, through the walls, yeah. And I know in some cases there might be the tiniest caves with some natural light sources, and mobs simply will never spawn. And of course, in that sense, no sounds, no visibility, you will simply never discover those parts of the caves. But again, I'm also not going to use any hacked clients whatsoever. So I'm not like going too far away from vanilla. And what is it I'm doing instead? I'm using a world download mod and simply every once in a while downloading the whole region around the ancient city, flying only inside territory, which means I only render the chunks that are going to be rendered when I'm inside the city. And then I'm simply using my second account, launching the second instance of Minecraft, and it allows me to use a spectator mode, because I opened this world in the single player mode, and then I see all the caves right through it. And probably in the end, when I will finish the whole thing, I will show you my first world download of this region and the last one. It's gonna look ridiculous, it's gonna look epic. Not only myself, I cannot wait to see the difference, but I'm pretty sure you will be shocked as well. So that's the idea. A little, let's say, spoiler to you, if you wish. And of course, I probably could simply do, I don't know, the daily world download and thus keep 2 instances all the time, so that I could see through the walls all the time and navigate more effectively. But I don't know, I tried it once and it felt like I don't know, not like a huge benefit, but more like a waste of time. So instead, I'm playing like I'm doing it right now. I'm simply working out the stone where I can see it is supposed to be placed. And when the whole cave is being closed, then I'm doing the world download and trying to see if there are any hidden caves that I missed, or the most annoying part, the air pockets. I think since the caves and cliffs updates of the game, uh, the world generation changed like quite significantly, and quite often you can find singular like block air pockets in the middle of I don't know, nothing. Sometimes there are small caves, sometimes there are like tiny cracks in between the caves, and that's just so annoying. So quite often when finishing the big cave, at the closing of it, I am also going to this single player mode to see what is that I have missed, and then I'm simply digging tunnels to those particular, let's say, coordinates to simply place one block in the middle of nowhere. But again, this has to be done so that in the end it would actually look perfect. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it also helps me to accumulate a decent amount of resources, including lava, which is, of course, obsidian. Because inside of the ancient city, inside of both ancient cities, there was actually not that much lava. And I think by now I probably already managed to take out like three quarters of it. So not much of it is left. But outside the territory there are lots of lava lakes and lava rivers and whatnot. So yeah, I will fill my pockets full of obsidian, then I will use those ender eyes to make the e-chests, and will ensure that they're packed as tight as possible inside of the shulker boxes, inside of my e-chest, which is nice. Because for the ancient cities, for this whole project, I'm not planning to use obsidian to enforce the walls. But if you remember, years ago, I was planning to finish the emptiness, which was a huge cylindrical hole in the ground that I started while we were still at 1.12 version. And then suddenly server had updated, the world depth increased, and then somehow slowly I faded away from the project. But the idea was to actually increase the size, because again the render distance has increased, and I didn't want it to be able to see the walls from the village. So eventually I think I might go back there and continue, and of course the walls were meant to be enforced with the obsidian, so that's where probably it's going to be spent eventually. But yeah, for now, not gonna flip the switch, not gonna change things, I'm gonna simply push forward, and as you can see, even though placing is quite a simple action, it still takes you a lot of time to place hundreds of thousands of blocks in here. Especially underwater, it's so annoying. But yeah, I promise when I will finish this huge project, and will also make sure to give away stuff, those vanilla kits I crafted several episodes back, I will reorganize the leftovers of my inventory so that I would actually have the shulker box with the components for the potions, as I used to have like several years ago, so that upon any necessity I would be able to craft any potions, including the water breathing one. Oh wow. Yeah, sometimes we're glitching badly. So yeah, that's what I'm doing apart from mining, and that's why it is actually taking me that much of a time. Because if I would be only supposed to mine the deep slate and if I would also not care enough to collect it. Are you kidding me? Another one. No loot. I'm just blind. Yeah, I think nothing. Yeah, so if I would not be focusing on collecting, smelting and placing the stone, most likely I would already finish the whole excavation project. But again, somehow I decided that it's a right way to do it, meaning using the deep slate, because alternative would be quite simple. I could ignore collecting the deep slate and instead simply build a cobblestone machine connected to a smelter, and then I would simply have tons of smooth stone to fill the same caves, but somehow it feels more right, so to say, using the deep slate in such a depth as we are working in. Yeah, and these dudes just keep messing with me all the time. I mean, fair enough, I'm destroying their habitat. So yeah, and as you can see, as long as I'm becoming too annoyed, I'm simply switching the area where I am working in, because otherwise it becomes boring too quick. And yeah, of course there are some smaller caves which are connected one to another. Some of them are actually going to the ocean floor outside, as you can see. And that's also one of the problems, because I would be supposed to close this, I'm sorry, but crack as well, which means I would need to use the gravel, the dirt, so that it would look natural as well. So yeah, there's plenty of things to be done, and it's ridiculous that I am doing it all on my own, but I feel that this is gonna be a good accomplishment. And I promise, after completing this one and maybe the emptiness, I am not gonna do anything this huge on my own anymore. At last for, I don't know, several years. So yeah, future projects gonna definitely be a community project, and of course I will make sure to announce them in the Discord, X, etc. So that's gonna be way easier. Imagine if there would be, I don't know, like 10 players mining, 10 players closing the caves. Probably we would be able to finish the whole thing like in 1 month, even if not less. But of course, when you're doing it all on your own, it takes ages. So yeah, hope that answers a few questions about why is it so slow. And I hope that you also are curious to see how the end result is gonna work. Not only the ancient cities themselves, but also the behind the scenes or behind the walls. It has to be like nothing in the end when you look through the walls. It's gonna look unreal, but yeah, we are still quite far away from it. In any case, guys, I believe you are already annoyed hearing me suffocate, so thank you so much for watching once again. And if you feel like you want to see it end and see the result, then feel free to like and subscribe. I would be happy to see you back in the next episode. Bye bye everyone.